Hi there, I'm Dina, and I like making delicious and healthy whole food vegan recipes. If this sounds like something you're interested in, stick around, give me a like and a subscribe, and I appreciate it. Hi everybody, Dina here, and today I wanted to share with you a quick and simple recipe for making pickles. Some people call them quickles, whatever you like to call them. We are going to make some quick refrigerator pickles. Now, if you hear some footsteps in the background, I'll have to introduce you later, but I adopted a family member over the vacation week last week. Had a wonderful vacation time with my family, all of my kids, all of my grandkids, down at the beach, enjoying the weather and kayaking on the river. And I also came back with a cold and a dog. So I have been busy since I've been back. Busy walking the dog and getting him used to being here, and busy in the garden. As you can see, cucumbers have gone a little bit crazy. We also have lots of peppers coming in, especially serranos and poblanos right now. And when I got back from vacation and was feeling a little bit not so great with the cold, and I apologize if you hear me sniffle or cough. It's still lingering a little bit, but I am on the mend. So when I got back, I decided to do a fast, and I did a watermelon fast, which was fantastic. It's really good for just keeping hydrated if you're a little bit down, and or if you're running a fever. It's great to just have that hydration food in you, and watermelon's super good for you too. So I ended up with a ton of watermelon rind. So one of the things we're going to pickle today is some watermelon rind. I'm not canning these for preserving. So if you're doing that, you'd want to make sure all of your jars are sterilized and your lids. But if you're just going to make quick pickles and put them in the refrigerator, all you need to do is make sure everything is cleaned with hot soapy water, and you will be fine. So probably, now I can't guarantee that. I don't know what your version of clean is, but no, you'll be fine. So I just have my watermelon rinds here, and I'm gonna put a couple different spices in these two jars. I'm going to make a spicy one in this little jar and a traditional pickled watermelon rind in this jar. I'm also pickling up a little bit of red onion and serrano pepper to use this next week. This is delicious and something that should be a regular and a staple in everybody's kitchen, I think, because it's so easy to make and it goes fantastic on top of salads, sandwiches. It's just a really good way to enjoy onions. And you can naturally ferment those too. If you're keeping raw protocol, you can look into naturally fermenting all of these. And that's something that I have set aside a goal to do this summer. I just haven't quite gotten there yet. So stay with me. I'm also going to pickle up a large jar of these cucumbers. So let's get started. So what I have here are just the basic quick pickle ingredients that are going to go into the pan and heat up, that will go in all of my pickles. So, and then from there, we'll spice each one a little bit differently. But to start, your basic quick pickle recipe is just so easy. It's 2 parts vinegar to 1 part water, and we're just going to add that in the pan, and that's what I have here is just my vinegar. And I am using regular white vinegar today, 5% vinegar. This is the one I use. You can also use raw apple cider vinegar, and you can use red wine vinegar. Both of those are delicious in quick pickles. And then I just have my 1 part water, and I'm going to set that aside. I'm just going to use this same jar to put my cucumbers in. Okay, we have that. And then for the basic pickle recipe, you can use pickling spice if you like, or you can make up your own set of spices. The very basics are just a couple of bay leaves, a couple cloves of garlic, and some peppercorn, for this amount, about a teaspoon of peppercorn. Now you can use coriander seeds, cumin seeds, cloves. I think in some pickling spice there's caraway seeds. Put anything that you like in your pickles in here, but I would suggest, if you're unfamiliar, start with these basics and go from there. And of course, you can always flavor the jars with whatever extra spices you want to add, but these are just the basics. So my vinegar, water, and spices go in, and I'm going in with about a quarter cup of salt. And since it's quick pickles, I'm just using regular kosher salt. If you are pressure canning, you want to use canning salt or pickling salt. Okay, and I'm going in with just under a quarter cup of sugar. I don't like my pickles too sweet. I like them to be a little bit more on the savory and spicy side. But if you like them sweet, by all means, add more sugar. Also, if you don't use any kind of refined sugar, you could go in with a different sweetener like either agave or maple syrup. Those would also work, but you just want to make sure it's heated up enough so that it dissolves. And that's all we're going to do. I'm going to put this on the stove, heat it up just enough for the sugar and salt to dissolve. So while that's heating up, I'm just going to add my beautiful cucumbers here to this large jar. And I just want to say that I feel so grateful this year for the production that I'm having in the garden. It's tough to garden here in the South. It gets so hot and we have so many bugs. The pest pressure is it's really on this year. And to try to garden organically, it's kind of tough, y'all. It's kind of tough. So I just want to say how grateful I am for all the beautiful things coming out of the garden. It just makes me so happy. It makes all the hard work really worth it. I just feel so blessed and so grateful. So I just wanted to say that. I'm sure anybody out there that grows their own food feels exactly the same way. It's tough sometimes, but it is so worth it. And I'm also, whatever doesn't fit in this jar is going to just get a little bit of salt and pepper, and it will be my lunch. So also to the jar here, I'm just adding a few little pieces of red bell pepper, not spicy, but I like them in there. It adds a fun, pretty color, kind of nice. So that's going in there. And all of these beautiful cucumbers, which every time I slice a cucumber, I have to taste a bite of it and make sure it's not bitter. You don't want any bitter cucumbers going in your pickle jar. So always give it a taste and see. Sometimes if they don't get the right amount of water or they get too much sun, they can go a little bit bitter on you. So these were all delicious though, by the way. My husband, hard worker that he is, helped me set up an irrigation system that could run while we were gone on vacation. So everything got just the right amount of water. And I came back and was so grateful to see that everything had survived, wasn't eaten by the deer, squirrels, and other creatures we have running around here. And everything looked great. So we have that ready, and our sugar and salt and spices should be ready to go. So I'll just grab that and we will get pickling. So we have our pickling liquid there. Now I'm just going to add in the rest of the spices and seasoning that I'll be using on our quick pickles here. So to start with our cucumbers here, I am going to use some dill, which has not been opened yet, and I may need help with. Aha, I see. Some of you may not know that I wear reading glasses. Sometimes little things are hard to see like that. So one thing I don't have in the garden this year is dill. I didn't plant any because I thought that the dill from last year would have seeded enough for me to have plenty in the garden, because it usually does, but that didn't happen this year. So I've got some freeze-dried dill here. Our grocery store did not have any fresh dill. So freeze-dried is good. I wouldn't buy the dried in the spice aisle. I would do the freeze-dried, which is usually in the produce area, but may be different at your store. So I'm going to go in with a couple tablespoons of the freeze-dried dill in our cucumber mix here. And don't worry about it just sitting on the top for now. Once we pour the liquid in, it will all distribute fine. And then about a 3/4 of a tablespoon into our traditional watermelon rind here. I'm not putting any in the onion and pepper. That's just going to get pickling liquid, and a clove of garlic. Okay, so there are those. And with our spicy watermelon rind, I am going to add some chili lime salt. If you don't know what this is, go now to your grocery store and find it. It's amazing. It's addicting. It's delicious. It's just a salt with chili and lime. And this one is tahini, which is readily available at most grocery stores. If you don't see it in the spice aisle, look where they have the Mexican food products. So I'm going to go in with about a tablespoon of tahini. And the reason why I wanted to try this is because I love tahini on my fresh watermelon, cantaloupe, and cucumber. It is delicious. So we'll go in with about a tablespoon of that, and I'm going to put 2 cloves of garlic in there. And I'm putting a little bit of chopped cayenne. I picked a cayenne pepper off of one of the plants in the garden, and I am going in with that, as well as the rest of these few peppercorns that I have there. Okay, and I think that's it. I needed to finish filling up this traditional watermelon rind jar. And for the watermelon rind, you just want to peel off the green part and shave off most of the pink. You don't have to get it all, but about like that it should be. And since we're not canning this to preserve it, if you were canning it to preserve it, you'd want to pack this in there really tight. But since it's this vinegar is really getting to me. I breathed in too much of it. Since it's just for quick pickles, you don't have to be all that concerned about that. You can just kind of fill up your jars. You don't have to like really pack them tight. Okay, all right. So all we do from here, and I'm going to throw in a clove of garlic there and a clove of garlic there since I already have it out. So just take our liquid and fill our jars. And I'm going to get these 2 bay leaves in this jar with our cucumbers. So see if I can scoop those out. Okay, so that is the last of it. And the only step left really is just to kind of poke down and around so that your spices and your dill, just make sure everybody's down under the vinegar and water. And that's it. All you have to do now is put a lid on, pop them in the refrigerator, and in the case of the watermelon rind, I would wait probably 48 hours to try those out, because you'll want the pickling liquid to be soaked up all the way to the middle of the fruit. For the cucumber, I would say 24 hours is good. And for the pickled onion and pepper, you just need to give those a couple of hours. They'll be ready. Like if you make them around afternoon time, they'll be ready for dinner. My favorite. Okay, so these are ready to just pop in the refrigerator and enjoy. So I'll be using these throughout next week in snacks and recipes. Stay tuned and check them out and give these a try. I do appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for your support. I mean, I've had some really great comments, and I just want you guys to know I truly, truly appreciate it. So let me know what you think about this video and this recipe, and I will see you next time. Bye.